So, how does it feel to be back?
Well, back in front of a camera, not back on YouTube, but back.
Well, you know what I mean, but we'll get into all that. But is it weird you being filmed again? Because it's been a couple of years since you were kind of talking on a YouTube video.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I actually have a look now while we're on this. I don't actually know how long it's been since I did a YouTube. But you know, to be honest with you, I'm quite more impressed that I've actually resurrected myself because everyone thinks I was dead. Yeah, looking at the channel here, I did a video 2 years ago.
So the reason why I brought you on here today is to basically kind of, if someone's wanting to do YouTube videos like deck reviews, things like that, I know you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to filming and photography, that kind of thing. So I thought you'd be able to give some insight. But we'll ask a couple of the old questions that everyone's kind of been asking. The first question's already covered. You're not dead.
Not yet. I thought I was near COVID. Other than that, no.
Oh God, that bad, huh?
So no, I didn't have it.
So while we're on subject of the pandemic, you were doing something really nice for the NHS and your business. Do you want to tell everyone a bit about your business and what it was you did?
So the business itself is a print and signage company in the local area that I work in, and probably nationally. Really, we send stuff out, but mostly it's like a local business. And during COVID, all the shops shut, and we're all just sat at home watching Netflix and series. And after a week, I got incredibly bored. So what I decided was to put a rainbow up in a customer shop that I knew, and then it just sparked. Everyone wanted them. It was nuts. Everyone up and down the country, to Southampton, to just everywhere, really. And we were literally all the time. We were 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. Rainbows. We're raising money for the NHS, which we gave them a percentage, because obviously we had to keep the business, obviously, you know, financially running. So we benefited. We kept running a local business, and the NHS benefited. The main reason I did it was one of my friends had an accident, and that was good motivation to do it. So yeah, it was nice because they helped save his life, and then also it was good that we were raising money and also getting everyone very happy that they were seeing loads of colourful rainbows on windows. So it just built a bit of spirits. Everyone was very down in the dumps doing all the clapping during COVID when everyone was locked in their houses, and we were, you know, covering the shops, and it made everyone, I think it helped.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice kind of symbol. A rainbow kind of spreads that message of positivity, that kind of thing. Because
I'm sick of rainbows now after sticking hundreds of them up.
Oh, I'm sure. But it was a nice thing, and I remember you sending me a photo of pretty much every single one you did. So
yeah, that was like my daily ritual.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just send them to everybody, so then they might tell someone else. So yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell by the branding on the back, your printing company.
Yeah, very colourful on the back. Not I'm looking down there, it's just behind me, but yeah, it's pretty colourful, really. Just try and same as everyone, really. Just trying to run a business like yourself. So it's fun. There's tough bits, there's good bits. This week's really good, but obviously sometimes like that week was annoying. So yeah, it's ups and downs, but I think it has more perks than it has downs, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. And
you also do all of my design. Well, not the design. I've started doing the designing, but you try. Well, I try, but you know, there are parts where you need to, you know, sort it. The bleed, for example, still a mystery to me, but you always moan at me for it. And yeah, we've kind of bounced off each other and created some really nice things I've been really proud of. It's simple things like this leaflet, for instance, that it is really good. It was one of those that I thought was going to be really easy to do, but ended up taking multiple days to sort it because I wanted everything centered, everything aligned, and then I would do it, and then you say, no, you need to do this, and it would just be a long process. But for the most part, I'm really happy with it. And we've got a couple of things in the works, don't we, for the future?
Yeah, that's the plan. It's just both of us. It's probably a busy time of the year for us both, so we're both looking forward to maybe beginning of next year, sitting down and figuring out those things that we've been going on about for ages.
Yeah, definitely. And we've also got a huge project that we've been it's been in the works for years, but it's never been put into practice. No. So hopefully we can touch on that. So that'll be
it would be good. Don't reveal too much.
So why is it you don't upload anymore?
Good question. I do enjoy playing cards. I haven't brought one probably in at least 2 years. Very long time. I think that's correct. Yeah, it is correct. Yeah, 2 years. You know, things have happened. I've got a girlfriend. We moved into a house. We've got a
this would happen.
Got a dog, so I've got responsibilities now. I don't know. It's just hard, and also work. So obviously, because I'm self-employed pretty much with the business, so I have to. That's my number one priority. But I'd say never. But the problem is, I've been gone for 2 years now. I'm sure I haven't seen who the new reviewers are. I know V Jose's still going. How is he still going? Because he must run out of cards. He has so many. So it's good that he's still going. I just can't believe it. I remember growing up doing the YouTube channel and he was there, and Savannah, and then she disappeared, and then Cards Are Fun, I think his name was. He was really good, and everyone thought he died. And then V Jose, he's just like, I feel like he's just never going to go. He's just going to be immortal. See what I did there?
That was clever. Very clever.
That's probably the reason, really, is work, life, dog. Yeah, really. And also, I sound stupid. When I go to America, I really enjoy playing cards. It's not like I don't play with them. So if people are interested, I'll keep my desk a Gemini Montebello, whatever it's called. And then also, I've got these off Andrew. The rest of them,
both of them off me.
Yes, both of them off you. And I got these green ones because they're the same colour as my branding, black, green, and white. But the good thing with cards is, they're quite useful. Like I still collect. No, to be fair, I lied. I did buy the Jerry Nuggets, the new ones that come out, because I've collected like the whole load of those. So I've got the originals till what's up to date now, I think, unless they've brought out any others.
It's crazy how much they bring out and how many variants they bring out. I know when you first bought them, you've got the originals, you've got the prototypes, and then you started doing all the colors, and then it just got a bit out of control. I personally probably shouldn't be saying this because I'm selling some of them, but the amount of colors they have and the amount of variations is just crazy. Like I've only got 5 different variants in my personal collection, and I sell probably about that amount on the website, but I just don't want to buy every single color. I just don't want to overrun with it.
Well, how many cards? I don't really buy that many. Obviously, I don't really buy any really cards only off you. But how many cards are there that are coming out? Like I've just quickly flicked onto a deck reviewers channel. There's like butterfly, there's caterpillar, another butterfly. Seems to be still a hell of a lot of packs of cards still being produced. Seems to be more than ever from the looks of this.
I mean, to be honest with you, we probably some people won't know this. I used to do YouTube prior to doing this website, and we used to do videos together all the time. It was a really fun thing for us to do because we'd hang out, we'd film videos. We did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire skit ages ago, and we did loads of cardistry videos, and you had a passion for graphic designing and editing. And all
weird,
that
isn't it? That's weird.
Yeah, and I kind of learnt from you little bits and bobs, but it's really nice to kind of reminisce on them. So we go back. They're all on private now, but if anyone wants to see it, just let me know. But it was really fun to just do these kind of cinematic-y kind of things. So it was fun. We stopped doing it at the point when loads and loads and loads and loads of decks were coming out non-stop. So it was really coming out quite rapidly. And yeah, we both kind of grew a bit fed up of the whole YouTube thing and all the card collecting. I say grew fed up. It just wasn't as fun anymore.
Yeah.
I suppose it became a bit of pressure for yourself because you had such a following with subscribers.
I think mine was probably, tedious is a bad word, but probably was slightly tedious because the problem is it's hard. Like during a YouTube channel is like I think I was trying to do a video every day or something, and like I know I'm going back to him, but Jose, how he does 3 or 4 videos in a day blows my mind, because just trying to get one up, it's not just that, it's you have to film it, which normally takes time to set it up unless you've got a setup like kind of constantly on, but most people don't have a studio or you know, so you have to set the lighting up or you have to set it all up, you then have to record it, then you have to then get it to transfer from your thing to your camera. It's not that, but it's probably, to make one video, it's probably at least half an hour. Yeah, from saying if you just do a quick edit, probably quick half an hour, but even longer. In your videos, it's probably taking you like 9 days to edit because you're so particular.
You're not far off.
Obviously, for me, I had the template. It's just drag and drop. I probably wouldn't really, you know, if I coughed, I'd probably put it in. There'll be someone going, "Oh, you coughed," and then that'll be it. So I don't know. It's not tedious, but it's definitely. I just couldn't keep up with it. There was too many coming out because I was having to try and run my business and also try and contact companies to review the cards. But yeah, it is sad. I do miss it, but then at the same time, I don't, because I was like literally my whole life was cards, and it's, you know, like Andrew has seen my loft, and like it's smaller than what it was, but I sold a lot when we moved house, but there's still it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see the stories of me reorganizing a collection of like 5,000 decks. They're his. He's not very good at kind of organizing them, whereas I like things organized, so I know exactly where they are. So it's something I was doing for him, because when you didn't want to necessarily sell every single pack of cards you ever had, but you wanted to knock down the amount that you had.
Yeah, I wanted to knock it down. You know, just for example, I don't mind telling people. So when we come to, we put an offer on the house and we've got it, and then I realised, oh no, when you buy a house, you have to have things to go in it, or it's just going to be floorboards and walls. So obviously we had money to spend, but then I thought, well, there's a lot of cards there, and I don't know where I'm going to put them. The idea was this wall, I was going to put this big storage thing there, and they'd literally be there the whole time. But that's a lot of weight, and I thought, you know, I don't want to try and, I don't really use them that often. I might be, occasionally I'll go in the loft when Andrew comes around, or if my other half goes in the loft, and I'll swap the cards over from my desk. But so I basically sold loads, and I think I probably maybe 10, maybe £12,000, probably something. I think that one person, I think he was from Manchester. He spent probably, was it 7, wasn't it? £7,000 on cards.
It was around that area.
So it's a very good investment if you can like get them, and you can get them the right time and sell them. You financially, you know, it sounds stupid, but I sold bicycle cards, and it brought my sofa, it brought my bed, it brought our carpet, like that. You know, it's stupid. I don't sound stupid, but all these things are expensive when you buy them. So yeah, cards have actually, to be honest with you, have been very, very good to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I also wanted to touch base on when it comes to the collecting part of cards. Now, you've benefited really well from that, but it's not like every single deck of cards is going to be worth money, and its prices go up and down all the time. And it's funny because that was only about not even a quarter of your collection that had that value. The rest don't hold much value. So he
well, all they're minimal, like, you know, £5, £10.
Yeah, or they're building.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, it's like one day you don't know what happened. It's like overnight. I remember the white ghost going up to £40. It just happens, and it goes by what someone's paid for it. So then that becomes the value. So
people's values, yeah, and what they want to pay for it is, you know, like some of the cards. I know you're really, and you never stop asking this, the abandoned cards, but they're on eBay for loads, and the value you put on them is different. But it's everyone has their own value, isn't it? It's like when I brought them off, it's gonna sound very weird, but when I brought them off Dynamo, because he gave me a set, it sounds so weird, like I know the bloke. He gave me a set when we did that review with him, and then I brought one at his show because he invited us. Sounds even worse. Very good show, but really creepy. Just different styles. Oh, there he is. So yeah, we scared the life out of me. So he was very, very good, and we bought the cards. I think I only paid £8 for them, and now they're up on eBay for 200. Like, you just think in 2 years they've jumped up by however much percent that is.
I mean,
someone's moving the bloody bin.
It's okay. That sets my dogs off as well. It's weird because I've got the blue version. It's the luxury, and then there's a deluxe version where only how many of those are printed? Let me check. I think it was 1,000 or it's 500, one of the two.
It's crazy they call that, but then Jerry's Nuggets, there was like 50,000 printed, wasn't there? And they're going for, I don't even know, haven't actually looked.
I think it's to do with the fact of who it is that's producing it as well. Also, it's an amazing deck, absolutely amazing. It's got so much great design. It's got so much. Notice how I can grab a deck and it's in reach, because I have a few decks of cards that I really like, and this is one of them. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
I've looked at the other competitors before, and I have had to order stuff off them, but before Immortal Playing Cards even existed. And they just used to get a box and chuck it in. But to be fair, when I have ordered cards off you, it's like, it's very well packed. It's like you spend your whole life packing them. Yeah. It seems like to make a pack of cards, the possibly takes you 20 minutes just to, and you've got those boxes that are professionally printed. It's just you do go to a lot of detail for which I know when I used to be able to get wholesale rates from Murphy's, like the costs, like the amount of money that you would make off cards to do the amount of level detail you do is very impressive, because, you know, they're obviously, the packs of cards are £5, but you're like giving them a Louis Vuitton service for buying a shoe zone shoe. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's very impressive, actually.
Oh, thank you. It's just fun. There's not a huge amount of money in it, but that doesn't really matter. It's just, I don't know, you get a sense of pride when you do every order, that it's just, you know, you've put your full effort and you've done all these details with it. Many people are wrapping decks and having their twist on it. And the custom presentation boxes is one of my proudest creations, and yourself included. We spent ages kind of going through that, didn't we? So
yeah, it did. It was just a lot of me having to use a calculator and maths and figure out what size it had to be. Let's
kind of get onto the premise of what I wanted you here for. How do you think that someone can improve their YouTube videos, for instance? Let's say someone wants to do deck reviews.
Yeah.
And you have had your own specific way of doing it. And obviously over the years, that sort of thing's changed. You did get a lot of stick from people. You got a lot of criticism. What would you recommend to someone?
Just don't do what I'm doing right now, sat in here, where you've got all this clutter. Or get rid of any clutter in the background. Try and have a clean surface, well lit. You know, you can buy, maybe, unless I'm stupid, but maybe just investing £100 or something on Amazon on, I think they're called Newer lighting. Just have one. It's called a 3-point setup. So if you're filming yourself, you have one to the left, one to the right, one behind you out of shot. So it could be just over there or over there. So you get a backlight and brings you away from the background. I'd say lighting in your camera is probably the most important. Most phones now are so amazing. You might be able to do it off your phone, but there's always a difference between a phone and a camera. You can always just kind of tell. Personally, it would just be investing in your equipment, and that would be a big one. And then just be your own personal touch. Don't be like everyone, like, oh, when they used to moan, or, oh, you can't flourish and you're called TheCardists. Like, what's it? Doesn't matter. Like, just do your own thing. Be you. That's the main thing. And if they don't like it, then they can go subscribe to someone else. But they must like it if they keep commenting. So
yeah, it was there was a lot of about the name. There was a lot of criticism of that. You're called the Cardist, but you don't do cardistry. And then I remember having to try and teach you a move.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I remember vividly what it was. It was a variation of Sybil that I saw. So you did that, and then you did that, and that was about.
That still confuses me right now. Look at that. I just honest with you, I can still like shuffle a pack of cards. I can still do certain cuts with it and double lifts and all that, but doing all what you do with whatever that was called, that
Flourish.
Is that flourish. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why I was called the Cardist. It was just a good name. And at the time I didn't know what cardistry was when I set it up, because I think that channel is
10 years old.
Is it 10 years old?
I did my research.
Wow.
I'm not a fan, I promise.
I say 10 years old. Are you sure? 10 years old?
Yeah, it's 10 years old.
Wow. I don't know if I should be worried about that or 10 years. I wonder how long I've actually done YouTube for, same as you. Oh yeah. 2011.
No, I've done it for a couple of years longer than me.
Well, it says here 2011, and I finished with 10 million views. So that's pretty happy with that, and 55,000 followers. So that will do me.
Yeah, I mean, though you don't upload anymore, you do have a lot of content on there, a lot of deck reviews, a lot of all these things. And though you may not be doing the newer decks, like say someone wants a really rare and collectible deck and they're umming and ahhing about opening it, they will look up on YouTube a review of it to make sure the design's nice. That's personally what I do. I always look up the deck and I'm like, oh, should I open it? Should I not open it?
Yeah, I'm unsure. Maybe occasionally, maybe do a video. I don't know. I'll be interested what my videos will be like now after 2 years, because I've invested in equipment for the business, and also I might have changed slightly from the younger version of me. I mean, I've just had a look at some of my channel. Don't really check it out, but like my top 10 decks of playing cards is the most popular upload. Simple stuff, really. Bicycle metal deck. Don't know why that has 250,000 views, because I didn't think it was that popular. I went to the 99.9% gold playing cards. I don't think they are real gold. But people, yeah, I'm ignoring. The one thing I do still own, actually, which I don't really know what the value is, and I'm interested, is that Dale Manthus 3D. It comes like a frame and it lights up, and then you put the cards, and then if you turn it on the motor, it turns. But apparently it's a work of art. And we went to Vegas, and not me and Andrew, he hasn't been yet. We will take him one day. He's not a dog or anything. Take him; he can come by himself with us. We went there and we went to this art gallery where they sold his stuff, and they reckon anything sold by him is worth like £10,000 minimum.
Wow.
But obviously, who's really going to pay £10,000 for a frame with, cogs on the back of a playing cards? I don't know. But for some people, it's art. It was very clever.
I mean, I remember you filming that, and I remember how much work that took, that video. And I think someone would, but I mean, people pay ridiculous amounts of money for crazy things, but it's what they enjoy. And if someone really enjoys that, and let's say they've got a magic room and they want a nice centerpiece, that would be perfect.
Yeah, it would be good. Well, do you want to buy it off me?
10 grand laying around.
Well, feel free if you want to buy it off me.
No. On the topic of YouTube, what's the best thing or best kind of lesson you've learned from YouTube? What have you learned? And that could be in everyday life, whatever. But in the 10 years of doing it, what have you learned? What's a good life lesson from YouTube?
Actually, to be honest with you, it's actually quite good having YouTube, because it can get your confidence up. It's good with communication. It teaches you to speak not properly, but it teaches you to do stuff differently. And surprisingly, I think one of my first jobs when I got into TV was down to my YouTube, because I showed them, and I went into my role. I wanted to do as an assistant producer in this shopping channel place, but it was a US channel based in the UK, and they did it over there. And I said, "Oh, check out my YouTube and get some examples," and that's what swung me the job. So sometimes it's good for life skills. I don't think you'd meet your girlfriend on it or your boyfriend, but it's very good for just building your own kind of confidence, and also could be very good for you for your future. You know, you can show people this is what I've come up with, and 9 times out of 10 it's the model. Like, now it must be amazing to have YouTube. It must just be like a normal thing. Like, they got YouTube, yeah. That's my impression of a conversation. But obviously back then it was kind of a bit weird if you had YouTube, and it was like, but it worked for me and it got me the job. So yeah, so I guess YouTube's just take it as an interesting thing.
Experience.
Yeah, good experience. It definitely was a good experience. I wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for YouTube. So there we go. And I've known you for
a while.
8 years.
Something like
9.
That.
8 or 9. I've
I've
known you for pretty much nearly not half my life, but mostly half my life. Because I'm 24 now, I've known you for 9. Yeah, so it's a long time. And that's just down to playing cards and posting videos.
Yeah, I mean, we've been friends ever since we met that long ago, and yeah, it's been
it's unfortunate. Your friend.
Yeah, you're a pain in the backside sometimes, but you're all right. So while we're on the subject of, you know, the confidence building on YouTube and that sort of thing, why don't you tell the story about your first Magic gathering?
Oh, that was good. That's how I met Andrew. So we did it at Davenport's, which is no longer there. Not too sure what they're doing now, but I know they've closed. So we did the Magic gathering. We revealed the Grainback deck, which was my own deck that I obviously reviewed. Oh, it's good to know it's in your pile of like most important.
No, it's just there for this video, to be honest, mate.
Oh, nice. Okay, you just got it out specially. So we did the review of it, showed everyone. And then obviously we released it on Kickstarter. I was quite nervous, but it's interesting. I even did a Kickstarter, which sounds weird because of YouTube, and made my own physical deck of cards where the clubs look like penises. And you know, that wasn't intentional, but since everyone referenced it, I thought fantastic. That's exactly what I wanted. So yeah, it was nice to meet different people, and I think there was like 1 or 2 people that came to it who are like really famous now. Like, well, not famous, but like in the Magic thing, I think his name's Luke.
Yeah,
does stuff with Dynamo.
He was at the second gathering, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, he came to both. went to go see him. That's how I met Dynamo, through him. And when we met him, he was just like a normal guy, and now he's like famous and on loads of TikToks and all that jazz. Basically, now
I remember going to that, and I was very different. I was a very shy person, so this was the weirdest experience.
Yeah,
like in my head beforehand, and yeah, really welcoming bunch. It was only a few select people, which was really nice, and yeah, it was just overall really fun. And yeah, Magic gatherings is something that's dying out, unfortunately, and I really hope that people kind of get back into that, because I know when you go to a Magic gathering and you're talking to another person, they know a move and then they teach it to you, and you know, it can just add on to an effect, or it can add on to a flourish. It can do all these things. So it was a really good experience, a Magic gathering.
So I'll set Chris again.
I'm sorry, I'm boring. I know.
No, it wasn't you. It's just scattered.
So the last thing I want to ask you, out of all of your YouTube career, you've done so many things. You worked with Davenport's, you met Dynamo and reviewed his deck of cards. You did all these amazing things that people would really love to do. You even produced your own deck of cards. What was the highlight for you out of everything? Is there one thing that sticks out to you?
What would it be? I would say there's a few things. I would say when we went to the Magic shops in America, that was pretty cool. Wouldn't say it was a highlight. Davenport's was okay. It was great. It was a nice stepping stone, but it was in a creepy place. So you always felt you were going to lose your cards before you even got to Davenport's. Meeting yourself, which was good. Obviously, you think about it, I've just met you from going to a gathering, and now I've known you for 8 years and I'm 9 years, and you know, something like that. Taught me some life lessons, good communication skills. That's probably something I'll take away from it. built your confidence. Camera skills. If it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't be able to do like my Instagram and know what I know with video editing and stuff, because of, you know, it got me into college because of wanting to learn more. So yeah, loads really. There's like, I wouldn't say there's one thing. There's loads of benefits. Yeah, I was I was a snail, and then I become not a snail. So just because I learned how to do all these things, and I watched YouTube, and it taught you. And I don't know what that reference was with snails, because it makes no sense. But I couldn't think of. I thought snails become something else, but they don't. No, caterpillar becomes a
cocoon,
and then it becomes a butterfly.
Yeah.
So that was probably my reference I should have used, but I used the snail. Becomes a bigger snail.
Well, I'm going to leave it at
that. Well, I have a question for
yes.
everyone. I'm sure everyone, well, all of us are all wondering. Why did you set up Immortal? What made you want to do it?
Since when did this become a talk about me?
Because no one knows anything about you. You're the mysterious man.
I would not go as far as that at all. It's like I said a bit earlier on, I just wanted to, it's just something, a hobby for me. And if it branches into something else, that's great. But I just enjoy it. I always like trying to make something better, and I like to improve things. And I wanted to do something that I would want when I ordered. And this is at no additional cost. None of this is at additional cost. I try and do cards as cheap as possible. And that's just how it is. And I just enjoy it. So doing every order, I'm happy. And I'm not just saying that because it's my business. I genuinely enjoy it.
I've got one last question, and then obviously we'll let you end it there. Thank you for coming. Why did you set up Immortal Playing Cards? Like, I know obviously it's your baby, and you obviously spend like loads of time on it, but what made you want to do it? Like, why not just leave it to the other companies that do it? Like, what made you want to do it? I know you said it's a hobby, but you've obviously financially had to spend money to get those cards, to get a stock, you know, from Murphy's and all these other suppliers you deal with. What made you do it?
I mean, it's like with YouTube, like you say, it's experience. And I'm trying to build it, and hopefully it'll become something more. That would be great. But if not, it's an experience. And so far, everyone who I've done business with has been fantastic. Everyone's been really nice. Have had a few bumps in the road here and there, a couple of back and forth things with the Royal Mail, but other than that, it's been a really good experience, and I'm learning more and more every single day. So and I'm doing things differently in different ways and stuff like that. So I just enjoy learning from it, and it's an experience.
Oh, good. That's what you want to hear. At least you're doing well. So, well, thank you for coming.
Well, actually, thank you so much. And I hope someone got some insight out of this on how they can improve their YouTube, or just wanting to know a little bit about yourself. Yeah,
because I think it's really useful to know. And I've learned things from being on YouTube. And I definitely, if you can, and you're like, oh, should I do it? Just do it. Worst case, you can delete it.
Yeah, I mean, it also helps if you're wanting to become a magician and you're doing gigs and things like that. It helps. I mean, I've got a gig tomorrow, which is my first gig in about 3 years.
Yeah.
And I would be panicking a lot more if I didn't have that experience of doing YouTube and doing these different things. I mean, even doing installs with yourself for your business, I give them a hand when I'm there, and there's a lot you can take from it. It's always good to reflect on it. We're babbling on, so it's like your first ever deck review. You did the deck review in 2 minutes and then spent 5 minutes rambling, so we're going to cut it off there. All right, mate, thank you so much.
All right, see you later on.
Cheers, bye.
Thanks for having me. Bye.